Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the world of big business by looking at the documents they file. Today we're diving into a report from Borealis Foods Inc. And let's just say they've got some interesting developments happening with their lenders. So what is the big story here? Borealis Foods Inc. received a letter from their lender, Frontwell Capital Partners Inc., basically saying they've broken some of the rules of their loan agreement. This is a pretty standard thing businesses deal with, but the way it is unfolding here is definitely worth a closer look. It is all about a credit agreement, which is just a fancy word for a loan contract that Borealis has with this lender. This loan was for quite a bit of money, up to $15 million in term loans, and then another $10 million for revolving loans. Think of revolving loans like a credit card you can keep using as you pay it back. Now the bad news, the lender sent a letter saying that Borealis has already missed some deadlines and obligations, and now there are even more problems. They missed a deadline to keep a certain amount of excess availability, which essentially means they didn't have enough readily available cash buffer. They also failed to send in their monthly financial reports and other important papers for October and November of 2025. These are not small things. When you miss these kinds of deadlines with a lender, it can cause a lot of trouble. Because of these missed obligations, the lender is threatening to take action. They said if Borealis can't come up with either $5 million in new equity, meaning selling more stock to raise money, or get a solid promise from someone else to pay off the current loan, then the lender is going to start adding fees. They plan to put aside an extra $200,000 and then add another $100,000 every week after that until Borealis figures out the money situation. This is basically the lender saying, we're getting worried about our money, so we're going to protect ourselves, and it is going to cost you. Borealis in their filing explains that they see these added fees as a direct financial obligation that is increasing because of the lender's actions. So this isn't just a casual disagreement, it is a formal recognition that the company's financial responsibilities are going up because of these defaults. The lender isn't playing around, they're making it very clear that they are keeping all their options open. They're not waiving any of their rights, and they can even add more reasons for trouble if they find them. And you know what else? Because Borealis is already in default, the lender doesn't have to give them any more money through those revolving loans, and even if they did, it wouldn't mean they're forgiving the problems. Now, let's look at what Borealis is saying they're doing about it. They're working with the lender to try and sort things out. This could mean changing the loan agreement, figuring out how much more money they can borrow, and making sure they get those financial reports in on time. But they're being honest. They can't guarantee that these talks will work out or that they'll be able to get more loans. So while they're talking to their current lender, they're also looking at other ways to get money. This could be anything from getting new loans, cutting costs, or even making some big company. Wide changes, they promise to tell us more when they can. This report is a Form 8K, which is a filing with the US Securities and Exchange Commission. Or C companies use this to announce major events that shareholders should know about. For Borealis Foods Inc., the big event here is this notification from their lender. And finally, the report is signed off by Pouna V. Rahimi, who is the Chief Legal Officer for Borealis Foods Inc. This shows the seriousness of the situation, with the top legal person signing off on this disclosure. So what is my take on all of this? Borealis Foods Inc. is in a tough spot with their lender. They've missed some pretty important financial obligations, and now they're facing increasing costs and pressure to raise a significant amount of money very quickly. Their strategy seems to be a mix of talking to their current lender, looking for new money, and cutting costs. The biggest risk here is clearly their liquidity and their ability to meet their financial obligations. The company's direction hinges on their success in either securing new funding or restructuring their debt. Without a clear path to fixing these defaults, they could face even more serious consequences, possibly impacting their ability to operate. We'll be watching to see how they navigate this challenging period. Alright, that is our breakdown of Borealis Foods Inc.'s latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.